What does Baby Buns have to say for themselves? The mouse is in the way. Oh man. Oh, I think that's an old message. Whew. Well, that was pretty crazy.
But like I said, regardless of what happens with Vladimir early game, once he gets the items he needs, once he gets the hourglass, well, just the flat AP to give him the innate tankiness he has, he just started really, really digging into the MT. If we look at damage dealt champions, yeah, Vladimir did the most damage in the end.
Yeah.
And that was just very, very standard and very typical Vladimir. If he hits the late game, he's going to be nigh unkillable and still does 1,000,000 damage. And it was very interesting. Like, Aurelia didn't scan as well as she should have in the late game, obviously, because she's very stat reliant, and she went full tank, which made it very difficult for her to kill certain targets. But just couldn't do what Vladimir was doing for the late game teamfight, and the Sejuani Varus teamfight potential lockdown was just immense with a Vladimir Diana damage combo.
I thought I heard someone coughing then. Hey Sin, how's it going?
Oh,
What did you make of that last game?
I was very confused. They didn't stick with their roles.
No, they didn't. Everyone switched around.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
Vladimir-
I was here before. I didn't know the roles.
Vladimir didn't do as well as Luki did he?
No, though he still did, I think, the most damage for that team. Yes, by quite a large margin.
He most definitely didn't farm his opponent as Luki did previously, but again, Vladimir is Vladimir, and when you hit late game, he is still a force to be reckoned with.
Whew. Well, I don't know if there are any further matches this evening. It tends to be 2 games. I guess we'll find out if anyone invites us to the next one. I don't know who's. I probably should have found out who is the host for the next one. I'll ask Epic Sexes if there's another one. Well, what did you guys think of Varus in that game? Because that's certainly not something you see too often.
Yeah, most definitely, and I think with Varus, he really proved my point. Varus teamfighting was very strong, and through winning the teamfights, it's not just obviously Epic Sex, Varus Ultimate, sort of initiating the teamfights for his team. It's Diana being ahead allows Varus to initiate in their favour and actually win teamfights. Got him a lot of assists, got him a lot more kills than what Graves did, and the actual item advantage was what basically made him so much stronger than Graves. And as we can clearly see, Graves had to buy a Banshee spell because he had to prevent the Sejuani or Varus initiation on him. He had no choice but to buy the Banshee spell, and he was forced into an item which dropped his damage considerably, because that could have easily been a BT. His ult could have done an extra 100, 200 damage, and it's very interesting. Like, Varus is usually not a very strong pick, but at the same time, did we really see the Lee Sin, Aurelia, Lissandra jumping into Varus? It never quite happened. The Lissandra ultimate always landed on someone that wasn't ideal. It was Vladimir or Sejuani, or on Lissandra herself, and it wasn't targeted at the DPS that was coming out of Varus or Diana, and so vice versa. I would assume Varus was the one who needed a QSS or a Banshees because of Lissandra, but it was completely the other way around. Graves was getting steamrolled by the AoE lockdown they had, and he was forced to lose damage that way. It was very interesting the way they played Varus, and I think they played the composition very, very well.
Sin, will you be joining us for this next game?
Sure.
Alright, cool. Let's get you in there. We can do a triple cast! I've never done one of those before. It's really interesting. Who was MVP? I don't know. That's funny. Who would you say was the MVP from that one?
I would definitely say the Moonlit Rampage. Well, it's one of those things where Moonlit Rampage wouldn't have snowballed so hard if there wasn't a Sejuani. but at the same time, you still need Moonlit Rampage to be in the right place at the right time to be picking everyone off. And in a lot of team fights, he was very careful about it. He'd dive in and he'd flash out straight away after he got the kill to stay alive with enough health to basically reinitiate the enemy when they're all low health and get picks off. So I am going to say Moonlit Rampage.
Oh, fair enough.
Well,
I mean,
Wesker, what about you?
I think, yes, Moonlit Rampage is certainly pretty terrifying in that game. I think they're trying to pull together enough people to play on the game. I think because some people had to go off for, because they've got lives to lead. But we do see Moonlit Rampage back in. Yes, really, it's interesting. Moonlit Rampage being so much more dominant in that game than Tessin was. Was that a champion thing, or was it just the way the teams were playing?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Well, why do you think Moonlit Rampage was being so much more dominant than Tessin was?
Well, Moonlit Rampage is on Diana, and Diana has a much more early game power spike with level 6, and at the moment, obviously, like, they didn't make a play out of the level 6 Diana hitting 6 and then instantly going on the aggression line. Yeah, Diana was level 7 by the time it was near the blue, behind the topside blue, and they had a small skirmish there with Lysandra only having a Seeker's Arm Guard and level 2 boots, whilst Diana at that point isn't item reliant. She has the damage spike with her ultimate, and it was a 2v2, jungler and mid versus jungler and mid, and Diana easily won that team fight because she has a power spike, which Lysandra doesn't until she completes several of her items. Like, the sort of core concept of Lysandra is once you get your big 2-3 item, so boots, well, not boots is not a big item, but we're talking hourglass, death cap, void stuff, you can effectively jump in, out, drop all her skills, and she's popped someone. And obviously she didn't have the item to do what Lysandra was sort of designed to do, and in that little 2v2 skirmish, all she was really doing was being a CC bot, whilst Lee Sin was trying to do as much damage, and the Sejuani Diana just completely out DPS'd, and Diana naturally got the kills. Well, got the kill for it, and from that point onwards, it was a one-sided lane, because Diana, every time she just added a Q, she jumped in and W on, forced the Lysandra to leave. She's burning mana to escape, not really farming correctly, and Diana just sort of controlled that lane, and there was no answer to it. There was just no answer to it.
Well, Sin, what were your thoughts about that last game?
Considering I was gone half of the time,
Well, the half you
I
were
don't really
here.
know what happened. Yeah. Practicing my presentation.
Oh, how did your presentation go? Or presentation preparation, I guess.
Well, way over time than I should be. So, Specs can't play.
it's epic sexist. Oh no, that's a shame to miss out on. What's Moonlit Rampage? Yes, okay, so Moonlit Rampage was running cleanse to remove Lysandra ult and then an instant Zhonya's. So that's it's an interesting idea. It certainly worked out pretty well.
Oh, very much so.
Oh no, it looks like a couple of these players are going to drop out. I don't know. Well, I guess people are going to continue to try and invite people they know just to try and fill this game up. Whew. So, Sin, what's your presentation on?
Ecotourism.
I thought you were going to say eco-terrorism.
No.
They're very closely linked, those two.
Yeah. I'm talking about the environmental impact on ecotourism on Costa Rica.
What is ecotourism?
Ooh, that's like an entire slide of definitions because everyone has their own. Basically, I know it by heart now. It's nature-based tourism which engages with the community, is ethically responsible, and helps with the sustainability of the environment and incorporates anything for the sustainability, so being fair, and reinvesting into the environment.
That sounds quite complicated. What would be the example of something like that?
Can I give an example to see
Sure.
if I understand? Visiting a farm and pooping in a farm. you're giving back nature whilst visiting nature.
So you're saying like a
Well,
pooping expedition?
Tourism focuses mainly on like countries, so Australia with the Great Barrier Reef and the Alps, general things like that.
Well, you
Monteverde.
can visit farms in China, I believe, and I know as a fact, and they actually request you to the poop bar. It's more of a tourist
Yeah, but the
gimmick.
difference between that is that ecotourism is ecology, so something that the nature has created. Whereas when you visit a farm, a farmer has created the farm and not
So-
the planet.
How does that work with the barrier reef then? Like, what are people doing to give back to the barrier reef while they go visit it?
Hugs and
Oh, I have
kisses.
no idea. I didn't research that. They most likely don't pee in it.
That's always good advice for any party you might attend.
Yeah, something that really struck me odd, I think in the Amazon rainforest, if you pee in the water, there's a fish that swims up. Well, it doesn't work for girls, but for guys, it basically swims upwards into
Yes.
your tip, where it comes from, and then it just kind of stays there. So you have a parasite, a little fishy, inside of you, which can only be
And-
taken out through operation.
This is the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pete, Wesker, next time we go to the Amazon rainforest, make sure you pee into the water, not in water.
No, it's
No,
you
not-
pee into a river and it swims up the stream of your pee into your penis.
Okay, all right, we're gonna take.
I'm just not going to the
That's how
Amazon.
we're gonna do this.
No, I remember that because guys will tend to remember those kind of things.
Terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Up the little stream, that's actually horrifying.
Yeah, and you
why
don't
does this
know.
not apply to women?
Because
Well,
we don't pee in like nature, okay? It doesn't.
Pee-wee. Is it called the pee-wee?
Oh, God.
Girls have these days, like the pee-wee, which you just slap it on, and you have your make-believe pee-pee.
what? Oh, you mean carrying around a portable toilet is perhaps a.
No, we can't just walk like into random parks and publicly pee. We don't work like that. Quite happily.
I guess it depends how drunk people are. Oh.
I think I'd rather pee in my pants if I ever get wasted.
Well, there you know.
At least, I don't know if I lose my dignity more while being public and others watching me. Or peeing.
Well, I think it's about equality.
So wait, so Spanny, are you planning to bioengineer some sort of alternative fish that's
so
going
that
to
everyone can pee in public.
yes, and also get attacked by parasites at the same time? Well, that's something to look forward to.
It's called a shiwi. I've just looked it up. It's called a shiwi. Has anyone ever heard of this product?
Sorry,
Yeah,
wait, what?
like a funnel thing, isn't it?
Exactly. It's like if it's equality, if it's just as humiliating for a meta. Like, I don't actively suggest anyone should be peeing in public. It's not a thing you really want to do, but it's just.
Yeah, well, it's just something that nature just says, we had enough of your peeing in public. You're a parasite.
Nature
That's
is a harsh
fine.
mistress.
I think nature is leading the feminist charge in society right now.
It's sick and tired of your shit, literally.
Is that going to be your presentation? Nature, it's tired of your shit. Literally. If you want to link this video as part of your presentation, feel more than free, of course. I think presumably
Full group of 10.
we do have 10 players, so I'm assuming all these 10 players can play. Then hopefully we'll see the game start. Yeah, so we're gonna have to try and figure out how this is going to work. I think I've ended up mostly doing play-by-play with both of you guys. So as far as I guess like I don't know how the best way is to try and sort out two people doing colour in terms of just sort of talking outside of team fights. I guess maybe I'll just let you guys have a conversation for the most part.
Oh my goodness, this is the okay, I've just googled it. This is the most disgusting thing that you will see. There's one in an eye.
Oh really? Interesting, interesting.
Is this family friendly? Can we share it on the stream?
It's a parasite and it's disgusting.
I think probably
Who's
people
starting
could...
the Champions League?
Okay, there we go. We're into Champions League. We don't need to see any parasites in anybody's eyes. Quite, thank you enough. That's really gross. No, it's like out of a horror movie, frankly. So there you go. We are into Champions
Don't pee in
Select.
public.
Excuse me for a minute.
He's gonna go find an eye parasite. All right. Well, we are into these.
Sejuani being banned out, I don't
Yes.
think that's much of a surprise.
That's a
considering-
long time
Oh,
coming.
and
And Diana. There you go.
All
Well-
the carries, I think we'll be swaying away from Shaco. Or Shaco?
I think you can say it either way. I think, I don't know, like it's not. It's kind of like it's not. I think it probably is a real name from somewhere, but I don't know. Okay, Aurelia being banned out as well. But yes, I mean, I would be really surprised to see Diana come in again, especially with Moonlit Rampage on the blue team. I don't know if they're going to switch positions again, but Moonlit's been terrifying on every position he's been in thus far.
Yeah, Callista, Diana, most likely gonna get the Callista ban out as well because they don't want him on that either.
Well, I mean, at this point, that is a couple of games away. It's possible they've forgotten how terrifying. I mean, well, that's the thing. Do you keep banning out Moonlit Rampage's champions, or do you just say, okay, he's going to be terrifying whatever he plays, we need to ban out somebody else?
Well, I mean, they took away Luke's Vlad, who's not in the game, which is very sad.
Ah,
But they took Vlad away from him, so I don't know what happened in the game. But I don't know if they focused top lane much more.
to be honest, I'm not sure. There was a lot of back and forth fighting continuously. So here's caster tip number one: is it's very rarely advisable to comment on a champion pick until it's actually been picked, because people will troll the crap out of you by hovering a champion for a really long time. So you spend ages talking about how great the champion is, and then they change it at the last second. And you're like, gah.
I have just returned and hopefully parasite free. Has anyone talked about the banned champions yet?
Yeah,
We've talked through them a bit, but it's always open to more analysis.
I assume the typical one. Diana has been banned for obvious reasons.
Yep. Yes, I mean, Sejuani has
Oh,
been able to apply herself pretty well during the previous games. We do actually see the Heimerdinger come out, I guess, as a top lane? I don't know, what do you guys think?
I don't know. It's a hybrid thing. Honestly, I just don't know. And so Hobbsy, I pick my hat team or picking Heimerdinger for yourself or your team.
I think I'd be very happy if you just put that out there. But chances of that are very slim. But if he does, I want him to die. I honestly want him to do Power of the Heimer.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit. It might turn the sensitivity of in TeamSpeak. Change it a bit so it picks you up a little bit lower. But yes, okay, so we're seeing what's presumably going to be a Hecarim in top lane and a Xerath in the mid lane, which could end up... Well, I guess we'll see what the blue team decides to reply with. Who would you say is going to be the strongest in the mid lane against Xerath?
I actually, in terms of standards, Ari usually is considered stronger than Xerath because she has a huge outplay potential with free dashes to avoid most of Xerath's damage whilst winning the trade. But I actually like picking Xerath into the Ari because your sort of initial level 1 till 6, you can just keep pushing lane relatively safely without ever getting ganked or taunted by Ari because of your range in comparison to hers. So it's a very subjective matchup. It's preference based, I would say. But definitely post 6, Ari has the stronger sort of laning to. Back to the whole not talking about champions before it.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, you know?
Yep, that's exactly what happens every stinking time.
I think I'm right with Heimer jungle.
I'd love to think
Because
that you're
might be
right.
that must be a Lulu top, and that means
It could be a
that
Lulu
Heimer.
support. It's not seen very often nowadays, but it could be.
What should be Heimer jungle?
It should be Heimer jungle. I'd love it if it was Heimer jungle.
I know as a fact Heimerdinger can do Baron at 20 minutes solo.
Well,
I'm
given
not sure if anyone's seen that gimmick.
I know that you can do some kind of weird stuff with the turrets and aggro. Because he almost kind of can pull for himself with the turret setup. Oh,
Whoa.
was that a someone quit? So I don't know if that was a maybe that was a it was too early for that to be a proxy pick. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, looks like we might have to remake that lobby. That's oh, he DC'd.
DC'd.
That's a shame. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get him back in here quickly and get the champion select back to where it was. Alright, well, assuming we see
Calling
the
it
same...
right now. It's a Heimer jungle. I'm
Well,
not letting go, okay?
Apparently every call you made in the game prior to the one, you got all the calls right, so I am going to have to believe you.
Yeah, don't mess with the Sin. She'll tear your guts out and wear him like a hat. She's mental. Mental, proper
I don't know
mental.
how. I was just guessing most of the time and hoping it was true.
Well, there you go. I think what you can do, the way you hedge your bets is you never say something for certain, but you can say that it's that it's likely to be something, or it would be potentially strong, or whatever. As long as you don't say something is definitely right, you can never be wrong. You can just say oh, they might pick up this here because of this reason, and it was you could be right, or you could be completely wrong. But it's
Am
an
I
opinion.
correct to believe they have to ban the exact same champions they previously did?
Yeah.
Yes, that's generally how these things are done. I think they're going to proxy some of the picks, which means we may see these teams quit once more before we run through champions select a third time to actually get the right champions in. It's the whole thing with a placeholder is that not everyone's going to have all of the champions, so they may not be able to pick them in quite the order they wanted to. But I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're getting through the initial bans pretty quickly. What did you guys think of the teams as they stood?
I kind of forgot. Was it Zerath and Hecarim?
Yes.
Hecarim was the DC pick, Zerath was supposed to be their initial pick.
Ah, I see. Well, I guess we'll see what comes out from Pikachu. Alright, so, yes, why don't you tell us about this Heimerdinger jungle? What's he good for and what's he bad at?
Well, I don't know. I just heard a lot of rumors about him, and I want to see it in real life now. And see the power of it. Because apparently it either gets banned out in high levels, or high elo, or you pick it. Or you
Sort of
completely forget
flops.
about it.
Heimerdinger is one of those things where if he's doing well, he is going to be the most annoying thing you ever faced, or you're just going to run in and steamroll over him. Heimer jungle, as far as all I really know is he can kill Baron at 20 minutes, and Dragons I assume is just as easy. Post 6 I would assume, most definitely. But
So he's like a mini Shaco basically. Just he does more damage than he does to basically taunt someone. Or not taunt, fear.
Oh, and you mean in place of his fear, he gets more damage?
Yeah.
in terms of his jungling, I would say definitely Shaco-esque with the whole microing the aggro between your tower and yourself and sharing the damage. I can't see how the Heimerdinger will have the ganking efficiency of a Shaco, but it'll be interesting.
That's what I
definitely.
mean, just jungle clearing and farming as much as possible to get to a certain level and damage.
Well, do you think, could we see
He
Red
can
Team
drop
choose a
in and
jungler to
ultimately
punish
challenge
Heimerdinger? Is he vulnerable early on to early invades?
Oh, most definitely. Stick a Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, Pantheon, something like that in there, and I think you could pretty easily kill Heimerdinger.
Well, we'll see if this Amumu
imagine
gets...
just walking in with a smite. You can walk in on Heimerdinger, smite his tower as soon as he drops it down, and you kill him.
Oh man, we're actually seeing an Amumu coming out, pretty much the opposite of what you might expect for someone to... Well, maybe they're anticipating Heimerdinger being more passive and so they can get away with an Amumu more easily.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, to level 6 as quickly as possible by farming, ganking a little, but not too much, so you don't fall behind. But you guys mentioned that it's difficult to gank with Heimer. Well, he does have a stun and a slow. Don't forget, I think it's his E that throws the stun out, or maybe
It's
his
the
W.
grenade, yes. It's a skill shot and also quite a slow one. But it's yes, if you can hit it, it's great. But I think it's probably going to work best when they've got some sort of crowd control, say in the top lane, like Lulu or similar, who I'm starting to think is going to be a support pick. But to chain it together so that they. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, that might mean Heimer is mid lane, and that's really sad.
I was going to say something. I thought I'm just going to wait for these guys to lock because they're just trolling us. I would assume.
Yeah, it's definitely a Heimerdinger mid now.
Ah, what?
The lock on the Nautilus.
That's no good. Alright, well. Ooh, a last second change. So, yes, I think we're seeing a double AP. I think we're seeing actually a Heimerdinger top. Along with a. Possibly? I don't know actually. Oh man, who knows what's going on.
I love the correction on double AP to just. It's a Maokai top. He's sort of AP, but he doesn't do enough damage.
Well, not AP in a
to be
serious
AP.
sense, really.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of his
All
damage
you need
is.
is like one AP item on Maokai, and you just build tanky, and then you'll be fine. And he still does a lot of damage.
What's that percentage
Although,
damage of his root?
Rush the. What was the item? Little face mask that gives you movement speed. I should know this. I just buy the item. I never really read the item.
The face mask that gives you movement speed.
Yeah, when you run towards your enemies.
You mean Righteous Glory?
Yes, Righteous Glory. A lot of people just rush that these days, don't they?
Yeah,
But
it's
more
very,
of a
very
go
efficient.
behind, rush the item.
Well, I mean, it works really well for Maokai in that he can just root across to people and then activate that for a secondary slow in an AoE in the middle of the opposing team. So we are seeing the swaps around. I think, Sin, as always, you are right in thinking Kikuo is going to be in the mid lane as just a boring old regular mid lane Heimerdinger. But we do finally see a Lulu in support position, which, as I said, doesn't happen too often.
Not anymore. Used to be season 3, early season 4. Season 5, end of season 4, season 5, it just started to develop that Lulu should be played top lane. So thanks to pro players for that. Now you barely see her as support.
Well, I
So
think
I think, wasn't it the nerf to the durations of health picks meant you can't double glitter lance someone with one health picks, which would be
I think the problem
the
was
main
that
cause of a damage drop.
Lulu was too good
Could
as
never
a solo
glitter
lane.
lance 2, could you?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
I don't think you could ever.
I think at one point it was one health pick to let you glitter lance the same person twice, and that was considered overpowered. They nerfed that.
I know that she's had a lot of nerfs over time. I think mainly to stop her from being a viable solo laner. Or at least I don't. For some reason, I just don't seem to like the idea of her being a good solo laner. But she still persists despite all this. But I think they also nerfed her ability to support a lot while doing that. So I don't know.
But it's interesting they have a Zera top lane with Talon mid.
How do you guys see that one playing out?
I think Malcolm should absolutely. Well, not absolutely. Malcolm will have a much easier time winning a trade against Azarath because you can actually dodge some of his skills and just close the gap and then CC him and then try to walk away.
Yeah,
Very
but keep
difficult.
in mind that Xerath has a lot of range on all of his skills, so dodging for Maokai will be difficult because he's a big character in that sense. And he's also melee, so whenever he tries to last hit a minion, Xerath can keep some distance to him, while as he has to actually go face to the minion. And
That's
then
true.
he can just poke him down.
I agree, but it's my point was similar to how Aurelia Vladimir matchup works. If you do not close the range, Vladimir will always win. Likewise here, Zeref will win. If you close the range, I think Maokai has a better chance. But also, if you look at the junglers, you got an Amumu jungle and a Nautilus jungle. I think Maokai Nautilus has a much easier time killing a Zeref than a Zeref Amumu has killing a Nautilus. And in terms of lockdown, I think the blue team has a much easier top lane. But I completely understand, yeah, if Tessin places correctly, he's just going to be poking Maokai down all day in the top lane. But that'll be interesting to see.
Having a look through the runes and masteries here, we're seeing quite a beefy lineup from the blue team. Both Maokai and Nautilus going full into the defense. Well, 21 points into the defensive tree. Mumu actually has gone the complete opposite way. Has actually picked up ability power and gone heavily into the offensive tree with cooldown and increased ability power and such. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Mumu good with those kind of masteries?
Definitely. I mean, the more damage a movement does, he's still going to be tanky. But killing him isn't as much of a deficit as if you'd kill Graves right at the beginning. So everyone will focus on Mumu, making him not ult right away, or get into position to, so they'll be wasting spells on him. While he does all of the damage with his tears and just generally everything else. And I think you're zoomed in. Never mind.
Oh yes, I will definitely make sure to check that last time.
Yeah.
That was
so
terrible.
I think they will focus on Mumu. So I think it's good that he went AP more than defense, because he needs to do some damage, otherwise it's completely useless if everyone just focuses him while he can't even get down a single ult or damage off first.
Definitely true. I'm very curious about Talon Heimerdinger. I can't say it's a matchup I've seen, not even often, like at all. In fact, I've never seen Heimerdinger versus Talon.
Well, Heimerdinger can be pretty terrifying in the mid lane if he gets going. I mean, if Talon has to jump onto Heimerdinger inside his ring of turrets, I don't know how well it's going to work out for Talon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because as soon as Heimerdinger has his 3 turrets up, level 3, can't, as Talon, jump on him or necessarily do anything at this stage. Even if you get backup from a Mumu, we'll just shred through them. So, considering that blue team actually has, I think, almost 3 tanks if you count Lulu as one, and red team only has 2 tanks, I think it will be quite difficult trying to get through blue team with Talon and Zerath, who are basically assassins in a sense.
No,
I
that's
think
a good point.
Really very interesting pick into for the blue team as well, because if you try to assassinate Heimerdinger to get his turrets to go down, Lulu can just easily ult him, and suddenly Heimerdinger is now a pseudo tank.
Exactly. That's what I was hinting at, because it will be difficult to get anyone down to very low health, especially one of the tanks. So it could be Maokai, could be Nautilus, could be Lulu, could be anyone on their team, because they will just instantly get tanky through Lulu. And the trend which supports are going is to go more tanky. As you can see with the Leona pick a tanky support who will basically shield their AD carry and anyone else.
Alright, so which team are you guys favouring early on?
Early on, I would definitely favour red team, mostly because of Leona being much stronger. Nautilus is one of those jungles where he needs a first clear or 2 before he really kicks in. But likewise, Heimerdinger, Jinx, they are not exact. Well, neither team really has a very strong level 1. Both sides are relatively weak. You won't see in the movie go bandage shots at level 1 for an invade either, because your subsequent jungle just becomes ridiculously slow. So I don't expect any team to be invading, but in terms of outright damage, I would assume red side has the advantage.
Oh, do you think, could we see Kakumo taking a cheeky Razorpink camp at the beginning of the game?
Looks like he's gearing up for it.
I think he might just be scouting and putting down a ward.
True. I also know a lot of solo laners now take the free chickens in the Razor camp, and basically that gives you a third of your XP bar, I believe. And you go into lane, and within the first minion wave, you actually hit level 2, and it could be what he's going for.
Yeah, both Maokai and Heimerdinger are doing that right now. It's actually Xerath in the mid lane, so
Oh, Xerath mid lane TP.
Alright, do you guys mind giving us a rundown of the players in this game?
Okay, I'll do the red side. We've got top lane Talon with Eternum. Mid lane we have Tessin on Xerath. Jungle is Lulu. Obsidian. I keep making this struggling with his name. And then KK on Graves in bot lane. And Pikachu, Leona, support.
And for the blue side, we have Sir Hopsy as Maokai, and jungle being Moonlit Rampage, our MVP from the past game, playing on Nautilus this time. In the mid lane, we have Kikumu playing Heimerdinger, and bottom lane is Imaki and God of Danger.
Alright, well... Man, Abyssinian is going pretty low in his jungle clear, but it doesn't look like either side's jungle has too much interest in the other. Do you think, are either of these junglers set up to go for early aggression?
Nautilus more so than the Mumu, but it's relative in this matchup. Neither one really is a jungle you'd expect to have early game sort of presence. I believe in Korean terminology, both the Mumu and Nautilus are what's known as herbivore junglers. And they're more of a farm to your hit 6 and then your sort of team fight impact comes in, compared to junglers like Pantheon and Lee Sin, who are considered as carnivore junglers.
That's interesting terminology. I hadn't heard that one before.
I recently learned it on a stream a few days ago. But it's interesting. Nautilus actually has a much easier time. He's managed to do a full clear without having it back, whilst the Mumu's a little bit slower. And I think this basically means Nautilus can get the crab without really contesting for it, because they both went the same sort of jungle route towards top. And now we've got a Mumu top side.
Amumu has already gone back and has a higher CS than...
Oh, Pikachu! So Imaki is in trouble in the bot lane. KK pouring down damage. Imaki's so close to death, but up in the top lane, the same thing's happening to Sir Hobbsy. Taking really low. Atunum is on the very, very edge of health. First blood going down to Abyssinian. Imaki does get hit with the Zenith Blade though. So much damage, so close, and he's picked up another kill coming out for Red Team. God of Danger could be in danger himself. I think he's going to go for maximum disrespect points as Pikachu walks back into lane.
I think that was just very unlucky for Imaki right there. He should have waited up until Leona teleported to him and then flashed over.
No, I'm sure you're right.
Top side, Sir Hobbsy.
Oh, Eternum's in trouble! Taken down to very minimal health. Red buff is slowing him down. Hobbsy's going to try for a little bit of damage. Are they going to go for the dive? No, Abyssinian comes in on the flash! So Hobbsy picks up the first kill for the blue team of the game. Abyssinian is still there, but it is 2-on-1. I don't know if Abyssinian's got the mana to really finish off anyone here.
I was going to say that Jinx Lulu was a very good pick against Graves Leona, but once, you know, it's done pushing and the focus gone, and there are cooldowns for the blue side, they can really initiate on those fights basically, which is very difficult for them to counter because, first of all, they have high cooldowns. Second of all, because they're just so close to the team then. I think it's very interesting. I thought they would kind of equal each other out, but now red side has sort of taken the advantage in bot lane.
And back to your CS difference in the jungle, it's because of Heimerdinger taking the chicken camp as well as 2 camps and walls being missing, which is why Nautilus had the lower CS count when compared to 2 junglers. But definitely I think the route favoured Nautilus in the sense that he can actually do the full clear regardless. Interesting.
Also, I wouldn't think that Xerath would have such difficulty farming because he has such large range and just so many abilities to AoE farm. He's very far behind in CS against Heimerdinger, which is really odd to me.
I think it looks like Akumo's doing a good job with the turrets of trying to zone Tessin away from the wave. I suppose also because Xerath is relatively immobile, those grenades are going to be easier to hit than would be otherwise.
I think that's completely true, because if you zone Xerath away from his auto attack, which gives him his mana back, he actually struggles to lane with only using his spells to push waves, because he doesn't have the mana capacity to do it, and he will need a blue in order to just push without auto. But Heimerdinger playing correctly, forcing him away, not giving
Oh, here we go. God of Danger taken very, very low. But
Oh.
Imaki does actually manage to drive away the red team's bot lane. Ignite coming out onto Tessin, but not going to actually be rewarded with a kill. Still, Xerath driven out of lane while Nautilus sneaks around. Moonlit Rampage trying to go in for a cheeky bit of damage. No! Oh, I don't know. Tessin taken so low, and actually a kill goes across the Moonlit. I think red team were a little too clever for their own good there. Whew. Oh, Imaki could be in trouble as well. The nice polymorph, which is going to cut off Graves' ability to fight back. One of the very few silences in the game that actually takes away someone's ability. Well, I suppose it's not quite a stun, and it's not quite a silence.
Reduction of movement speed and, I guess, semi-stunned in that sense.
Yeah, there's no abilities, no auto attacks.
Phrase that people say. A slow is just a stun in disguise, isn't it?
Well, she is crazy, so...
Well, I'm sure that the... Well, let's have a look. What do you guys think? How has the bot lane gone so far? Has it been how you'd expected it to have gone?
I expected Leona Graves to have the advantage. Because Leona can just engage the Jinx, and there's relatively little you can do to counter it, besides polymorphing Graves preventing the damage, but in terms of pure damage...
Oh, Imaki could be in trouble here. Pushed really far forward. It's getting chunked down super hard. Abyssinian doesn't actually deploy the ultimate in the end, though we do see Tessin throwing a few shock balls. What was that ultimate called? Oh man, I can't remember. Right of the arcane. I don't even know what you would call the projectiles from that.
Hekumo being kind of ballsy there in alt chat.
Oh, Hobbsy taken super low! This could be a dragon going across to red team, and Hobbsy goes down in time with the dragon. Maybe like Hobbsy is a dragonkin. I don't know. Whew.
Really bad manners in the mid lane.
I have chat turned off, so I haven't been able to enjoy that.
You're so dull. Chalice and blue. Jealous, I think.
Oh, here comes Moonlight. Moonlit. Tessin, I don't know if he's going to be able to escape from this one. We do see a Mumu coming in to try and provide the support. Kakumo actually getting caught out there. We might see... I don't know if... Does Absin doesn't have the ultimate, I believe? No, gets taken out by Kakumo. A lot of damage coming out from that little yordle. Eternum is going to try and sneak up, though, across the wall into Moonlit Rampage, but still actually getting punished for it. Oh, man, that was so close. The Rockets didn't quite manage to catch him. But red team...
This is the journey to the top lane.
Yes, it's everyone in the top lane. It's ARAM time. Moonlit doing a really good job of tanking up a lot of damage there.
You gotta give Pessin some props, though. I mean, he made it all the way from the gank to mid lane, all the way up to top. Only sacrificed the player.
Maki could be in trouble, though, in the bottom lane. Oh, really nice solar flare. Gratuitous damage coming out from KK. Maki takes a super mega death rocket to the face. Not going to matter. The God of Danger is being locked up by Pikachu. I don't know if is the last damage there. Yes, a double kill comes out for KK, and red team are starting to take the lead in this game.
Yeah, as I was saying, Graves Leona definitely has the advantage, but it was the whole top chase was just very, very painful for me to watch, because Heimerdinger with a CS lead got an easily large rod, whilst the Xerath only had a chalice, and it's too big of a damage differential for them to even consider trading. And I was honestly very shocked that not only did they try to 2v2 with a Mumu, they tried to 2v2 the second time with a Talon as well, and it's quite obvious that Heimerdinger was completely out damaging Xerath, and I'm surprised they didn't notice it.
Oh, Imaki goes up against KK, 2-on-1. Imaki is going to be able to get away with help from Pix. Zap comes out on Pikachu. The turret is still up. If they start taking aggro from the turret, they could be in a lot of trouble. No, the mini wave comes in to save them at the last second, and it looks like it's going to be inconclusive in the bottom lane. Oh, but Abyssinian is going to come in here. I don't think that Tessin can really help out as a turret does go down. The first turret of the game going over to red team.
I mean, this is something that you definitely shouldn't do. Try and battle someone who is 4-0 while you're 0-3 at the bottom lane. Don't think it was a very good decision for Imaki trying to fight a fed Graves at that point. Thank God Lulu was there. I think
Oh, well,
otherwise...
it looks like they're going to ignore your advice. Moonlit Rampage going to go in. Pikachu gets caught by the anchor. Nice. We're seeing Depth Charge coming up, knocking up KK. So they're going in deep under the turret. KK does get stunned up. No, the kill does come across. The rocket's flying all over the place. Doesn't connect with Tessin, otherwise they could have been in a lot of trouble. And wow, that's quite a turnaround. I did agree with you, but they did manage. They took advantage of the low health and mana from the red side bot lane to get in that cheeky kill.
Oh, that's yeah, very well played there. We've not coming in, but
Oh, Hobbsy in trouble! Is that last bit of damage? The Ignite is ticking! Eternum does take the kill, and still it's, despite the lead, slight lead for the red team. Oh, God of Danger is there to try and help out Imaki, who's taking a lot of damage from Abyssinian. Those masteries coming out. What the hell? That's a wild Tessin appears. I don't think I even noticed him turning up. Here come out those arcane shots, taking out the God of Danger, but here comes the rest of the blue team. Who are, I don't know how well this is going to work out for them. Abyssinian is on very low mana. Moonlit Rampage getting it stunned up and taken out by Abyssinian. The extra damage. Oh, Kikumo in trouble as well. He has got the speed try to try and get him away, but Pikachu may well be able to lock him up. There's the stun. There's another stun and a third stun. That's very definitive for the red team.
So much CC, those three of them. I mean, if
Really?
one of them hits, it's guaranteed that you will die.
the Leona early sort of mid-game control really showing the difference in support lockdown ability is very apparent right now.